Time for our monthly chat with Sharon Rose from Libertine Consultants, and our discussion for the month is on reckless lending. Sharon, welcome once again.
Hi Ian, thank you. It's so good to be back and I'm quite excited about today's topic.
Yeah, me too. I'm ready to learn. Tell me all about reckless lending here in our beautiful country. What are the main causes and consequences of reckless lending here in South Africa, Sharon?
So the main causes in South Africa for reckless lending is insufficient attention to lending practices by financial institutions, so by credit providers. Also, inadequate enforcing of the lending regulations. So there are quite extensive regulations which I will discuss later on, but those regulations are not always properly implemented, and the consequences of this, it leads to over-indebtedness, financial stress, and also economic instability for individuals and obviously as a whole for the country. So it is something that is quite serious and needs to be consumers need to be educated on what their rights are and what the responsibilities of the credit providers are as well.
All right. And how do reckless lending practices impact individuals and communities here in South Africa?
So I've mentioned previously, but for individuals and for the communities in South Africa, what it does is it increases the level of over-indebtedness for consumers, which obviously leads to further financial instability and also could lead to bankruptcy for individuals as well. And then for the communities, what this does, it continues the cycle of poverty, and it also brings down the overall economic stability. Okay, and this can also lead to issues and contribute to issues such as crime, mental health challenges as well. So overall, reckless lending can be have very adverse effects on South Africans.
And what regulatory measures or consumer protections are in place to address reckless lending here in South Africa?
Okay, so if you as a consumer, if you have any credit that has been opened after 2007 and you have problems making your payments to your credit providers, you could potentially be a victim of reckless lending. Okay, so I'm going to break it down. By law, a credit provider must assess your affordability, okay, your ability to repay the debt. If you default on a payment without anything else changing in your financial situation, this could mean that the credit provider is at fault. Okay, it could be reckless lending. Okay, in this case, you can approach the court and ask the court to declare the account reckless, and therefore the debt will then be written off. So this shows us that the credit providers has a significant responsibility and have to comply with the rules set out by the National Credit Act. They are responsible to conducting fair affordability assessments. If a credit provider does not assess the consumer's ability to repay the debt, and also the risks, they need to understand what the risks are in regards to the credit agreement, as well as the obligations, as well as the cost as well. So that is the responsibility of the credit provider. And they need to make sure that the consumer understands all of the terms of the credit agreement. If this does not happen, right, and somebody gets the credit, it could lead a credit that they cannot afford. This will obviously lead to over-indebtedness, and this could then be also considered reckless lending. If they don't do the assessment, the consumer doesn't understand their obligations as well in terms of the agreement.
Okay, Sharon, and can you share some examples of successful interventions or campaigns aimed at combating reckless lending in South Africa?
Yes, I can. So there was a case in 2017 that was upheld in the Pretoria High Court. The decision was by the National Tribunal, which found Shoprite guilty of reckless lending. Shoprite adjusted the credit bureau information of consumers as well as their budgets. And as a result, they were fined R1 million. So what this shows us that, and also they were also instructed by the National Tribunal to appoint a debt counselor to go and investigate if any of and assist those clients that have become over indebted as a result of these agreements. So this case is a reminder to us how important it is for the credit provider to properly assess the consumer's financial state before granting the credit, because it does show that there is real life consequences for the credit providers and also obviously consequences for the consumer as well, because they will then be over indebted. So this case is there is quite a summary on our website if you would like more information on this case. But this case is specifically surrounding the consequences that was upheld by the court for Shoprite.
Okay, that's interesting, Sharon. And what advice or resources, lastly, are available for individuals who have been affected by reckless lending practices here in South Africa?
So if you, as a consumer, if you have been affected by reckless lending, there are several resources and organizations that can assist you and also provide you with advice. The first lead would be the National Credit Regulator. They are the key regulatory body that oversees the whole credit industry. They can also assist you with more information with regards to your rights as a consumer. There are also other organizations and legal aids that specialize in consumer protection that may be able to give you legal assistance as well. Additionally, debt review is also an option that can protect consumers from reckless lending, because when a debt counselor is assessing the consumer's financial situation, they are also tasked to looking at if there are any accounts that could potentially be reckless in nature, and they will then automatically also do a reckless lending investigation on that particular account, potentially getting the repayments adjusted or getting the debt written off, depending on the facts of each individual.
Okay, and then you, Sharon, can help us with debt review at Libertine Consultants. How do we get in touch with you?
So if you are interested, we do offer a free affordability assessment on our website. And what this does is we will go look at your income and expenditure and also your credit agreements as well. As I mentioned previously, to do an investigation to see if there are any accounts that could potentially be reckless in nature. So there is a free form on our website. We're also on WhatsApp on 073-011-8208. You can always just send us a message and we can send you the form and we can do the assessment and see if you have been a victim of reckless lending.
And also the contact details will follow just after this podcast and also below in the description. This has been very interesting, Sharon. Thank you so much.
Okay, not a problem. Thank you.
We'll chat again next month.
Okay.
Take care.
Thank you. Thank you, and you must enjoy your evening.
You too. Thanks so much.
Pleasure.
Okay, bye.
Are you struggling to manage your debt? It can be a real headache, but we are here to help. Need help exploring your options? Libertine Consultants offer a free assessment on our website where we can create a personalized plan to help you manage your debt. Contact us on 021 949 2211 or WhatsApp 073 0118 208. Libertine Consultants. Let us help you achieve financial freedom.